Today, you are going to learn the only makeup routine that you need as a beginner, and it is only 6 simple steps. My name is Misha, and I am a certified makeup artist and makeup coach. The thing that I need you to understand is that you're not actually bad at makeup. You were just never taught a system that actually worked for you. I am constantly meeting beginners who feel behind, who feel overwhelmed at the ridiculous amount of products and tutorials, or just don't have time. Once you learn this simple 6-step system, you will be able to start showing up confidently and polished every day in under 15 minutes. So this is the step that so many people skip, but it's probably the easiest way to start looking polished instantly. And that is your brows. Brows are so important because they frame the face and they elevate the look. If your brows are clean and if they are done, automatically your makeup is going to look polished. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a brow pencil and you're gonna start to fill them in. Use hair-like strokes to fill them in, and you want to start to make them look even. You want them to look similar. You're gonna use that pencil to fill in any gaps. We're not shaping the brows and trying to necessarily make them look perfect, but you just want them to be nice, filled in, and even. And you're gonna use your spoolie brush and you are going to begin to brush that up, and you're gonna brush those hairs up and brush them over. And your spoolie brush is going to help to blend that pencil into your hair so it looks very natural, like your natural eyebrow hair. And in a later step, I'm actually gonna show you how you can elevate your brows even more and make them look even more clean. So this is the step that a lot of beginners hate about makeup. But when you get the right product, it is a game changer. And that is your skin base. Most tutorials are going to tell you to use foundation, but in this 6-step system, we are using tinted moisturizer. And this step is going to help to even out your skin, to give you a blank canvas to use. The great thing about tinted moisturizer is it's not too heavy. I literally have clients that use tinted moisturizer and they say that they don't feel like they have anything on. Get a tinted moisturizer that is the same color as your skin tone, just as you would do foundation. So this is what you're gonna do. You are going to get a foundation brush or a sponge, and you are gonna get your tinted moisturizer. And you are going to start to squeeze that in different parts of your face. And then you are going to take your foundation brush and you are going to begin to pat that into your skin. Okay. We are patting that into the skin, all over our skin. Make sure you apply that to your eyelids. Make sure you apply that all around your face, all the way out to your hairline, so that we have a blank and even canvas to work with. Great thing about tinted moisturizer is when you go to the store and look for it, the shade range is usually pretty small, and that's because one shade can span across multiple skin tones because it is not full coverage. And if you want to quickly refer back to this routine, or if you want a full product list and all the products that I'm using, I have created a free PDF workbook with this exact polished face system. It has pictures, it has this exact diagram, and it has all the instructions for how to apply this look if you want to be able to quickly refer to it when you're doing your makeup in the morning. So if you would like that, the link is in the description to download it. So this next step is probably one of the most important steps in a makeup look, but people tend to skip it because the product has so many uses. And this is our brightening step. And this is where we are going to use concealer to bring dimension back to our face and to bring life back to the face. So when you're choosing your concealer, you want your concealer to be 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your concealer wand and you're going to apply your concealer under your eyes. If you have any eye bags, you're going to apply your concealer in the middle of your forehead, between your eyebrows, on your chin, and you're also going to apply your concealer to your eyelids. And take that wand and swipe a little bit of it under your eyebrows too, because we are going to now use the concealer to clean up our eyebrows or any mistakes that we made when we were putting our eyebrows on. Now you're going to take a concealer brush or a damp sponge, and you are going to now begin to dab that concealer into your skin. And you're bringing it down from under your eyes, you're bringing it down to your cheeks, you're bringing that concealer all the way out to the sides of your face, out to your hairline, you're blending it into your chin, and in the middle of your forehead, and make sure you're using dabbing motions. So you're not doing any swiping motions. You're going to use dabbing motions. You're pressing it and buffing it into the skin, and then you are going to bring it up to your forehead. All right, you're not going all the way to the top of your forehead, just to the middle of your forehead. What you also want to do is take that concealer brush and begin to blend that concealer into your eyelids. So again, we're using those dabbing motions and we're buffing it into the skin until it starts to blend. And don't worry, because I'm in a second I'm going to give you a tip. If you have really harsh lines and it doesn't look blended, I'm going to give you a pro tip to make it blend seamlessly. So next, what I want you to do, you're going to take it's a flat brush. It kind of has a slant to it. This is a detail brush, and you're going to use that to clean up your eyebrows. So we are taking some of that concealer that we put on our eyelids, and we're just pushing that up under the eyebrows so that we can carve the bottom of our eyebrows, so that we can begin to clean up any imperfections. If you have stray hairs, this gives your eyebrows just a little bit of extra shape if you want it to. So you're pushing that up under the eyebrows, giving it a little extra shape, bringing it down some, and then you are using your concealer brush to continue to buff that into your eyelids. So this is the pro tip that I promised you just a second ago. If your concealer is looking like it's not blending into your tinted moisturizer and you have harsh lines, I want you to take your foundation brush, that brush or that sponge that you use to apply your tinted moisturizer. You are now going to take that brush and dab it around the edges of where you applied your tinted moisturizer. Dab it there, and that's going to begin to seamlessly blend your tinted moisturizer and your concealer together, and it's going to get rid of those harsh edges. So everywhere that you have a harsh edge or a very stark line of demarcation, take your foundation brush and dab around those edges, and it's going to blend it right out. So I've noticed two things with beginners with this next step. They either are completely afraid of it and avoid it altogether, or you may use it but go completely overboard because you don't actually know how. And that step is our flush step. This is where we're going to use blush to bring the color back to our face. After we have created a blank canvas, brought a little bit of dimension back to the face, and now we are going to use our blush to bring some color back to the face. And in this tutorial, we are using liquid blush. I have found that liquid blush is probably the easiest to work with for beginners. Take that wand of that liquid blush and apply a dot or two to the top of your cheekbone. So you are not putting it in the middle of your cheeks. Take your finger, feel where your cheekbone is, and I want you to dot it right at the top of your cheekbone. And do not do too much. You need one dot, maybe two, but I would suggest only one dot for right now because this stuff is extremely pigmented. So now you're going to take your blush brush or your sponge and you are going to begin to dab it into your skin. Again, we're not doing any swiping motion. We're not painting. So you're not doing any brushing motions, but you are dabbing it. You're buffing that into the skin. And don't worry if it starts to look crazy, all right? Because we are going to use the same pro tip that we used before in this step too. So you're blending at a diagonal and you're blending up, all right? You're not going down. You're not going all the way to your nose. You're not going all the way to the middle of your face. You want to keep it at the diagonal of your cheek, and then you want to begin to buff that into your skin. And don't worry if it looks crazy right now. I'm sure it's extremely bold, but we are going to do the same thing as before. I want you to take your foundation brush or the side of your sponge that has the tinted moisturizer, and you are going to begin to dab that around the edges of your blush. And this is going to get rid of those harsh edges. If you feel like the blush is too bold, the color is too much, take your foundation brush and dab it on top of that blush. And it's going to begin to now tone it down with that residual tinted moisturizer. It should look very blended. It should look very natural on your skin. And I have especially picked out these products so that they can all be found at Ulta. So don't forget to go into the description and download your 6-step polished face routine, because you can literally take that into an Ulta, pop it open and ask the associate, hey, I want to build my makeup kit. Can you find me all of these products in my skin tone? And they will do that for you. And you will have a fresh makeup kit with products that you will actually use every day. This step is probably the most confusing step for most beginners in a makeup routine. But right now, I'm gonna crush the confusion because over here in this channel, we don't do confusion. We do clarity. We do systems. And this step is our set step. And this is where we are going to use our powders to set and lock into place all of the liquid products that we use. Setting our face is so important because it keeps the tinted moisturizer and the concealer and our blush from moving around. So our powders will lock those products into place and make them last all day. Now this step has two components. First, we are going to take a powder puff and we are going to take a setting powder and we are going to use that to set all the places in our face that we put concealer. So you're going to take that setting powder and sprinkle a little bit into the top of the setting powder container. And now you're gonna take that powder puff and you're going to dab that into the top. So you don't wanna dab it right into your powder because it is just going to be too much. But if you just shake a little bit into your top and then dab it into the top and then using the clean part of the top to dab a little of the excess off, you're gonna have the perfect amount of powder. So now we are going to take that powder puff and that setting powder and you are going to just dab that under your eyes. Remember where you put your concealer? You're gonna dab that in between your eyebrows, on your forehead. You're gonna dab that on your chin. And you make sure that you bring it under your eyes. Make sure that you bring it down and that you bring it out to your hairline. And you're also going to apply that to your eyelids because we wanna set the eyelids so that they don't crease. So the second component of this step is going to be our finishing powder. Not everybody uses this, but I just think it is the perfect way to now melt all of your products together and for you to just have a very soft finish. So now you are going to take your finishing powder and a very fluffy brush and you are going to again sprinkle some of that finishing powder into the top of that container. Unless you have a pressed powder, then you could just go straight right into it. But if you have a loose powder, which is what I recommend inside of my polished face guide, is you are going to take that loose powder, sprinkle just a little bit in the top, and now you are going to take your very fluffy brush and dip that into the top of your container where you sprinkled that product in, and then you're going to tap the excess out on the sides, and now you are just going to begin to just dab that all over your face. You can actually get all of the brushes that I am using today in a set called the Best of Blends brush set from Morphe, and again you can also find this at Ulta. So don't forget to pick up the guide. So our last step is how we just bring everything together and give it those last polish touches. And this is our finishing step. And here we are going to define the eyes and we are going to define the lips for that final polish. And you are going to take a setting spray to pull everything together. So you are going to take mascara and you're going to apply that mascara all over your eyelashes. This is going to define and lengthen your lashes, giving your eyes more definition. And you're going to now take that wand and just shimmy it up your lashes. You're going to start from the base of the lash and just shimmy it up. And because I don't have a lot of lashes, this is an optional step, but I also go in with a little bit of eyeliner. And the eyeliner I am just applying to my waterline, my bottom waterline, and my top waterline. And this is just going to further define the eyes, but this is completely optional. You can just stop at mascara for now. Next, you are going to take your lip product of choice. That could be lipstick, that could be lip gloss, that could be lip oil. In the guide, I recommend lip oil if you're just starting out. But if you have a favorite lip product or a lip combination, for me, I prefer a lip liner and a lip gloss. So I am just going to go in and outline my lips with my lip liner, and then on top of that I am going to apply my lip gloss and just press that together. And now I am going to just finish that off with my setting spray. I am just spraying that all over my face. This is going to begin to melt everything together and make your face look like skin again. Spray that all over your face. fan your face so that it dries. If you are the kind of person that wants to take this look to the next level and you want to start learning about and applying lashes, watch this next video that I recommend, because here you are going to learn how to find your eye shape and what lashes looks the best on your eyes. Congratulations, you now have a system that is actually going to work for you. I have many people that have worked with me that have learned this system, and now they are feeling more confident. They are walking into rooms, they are getting complimented on how good they look, and they are now able to go out confident because they know how to put themselves together and show up looking polished. Well, I hope this video was really helpful. If you are a beginner, what makeup step is the most confusing to you? Let us know down in the comments so that I know how I can help you to start to show up looking polished and confident every single day.